Hi, Girl Scouts. It's so good to see you all, and thank you for joining us tonight for Inspiring Futures. My name's Katie Herstein, and I'm the program manager and events manager at Girl Scouts of Colorado. So in my job, I feel so lucky that I get to be the one that gets to host this virtual series where we introduce our Girl Scouts to a bunch of accomplished women in a variety of professions, so you can begin to be inspired about what your own future is going to look like, which is pretty interesting and fun, right? And we have the perfect partner working with us to bring this series to you. It's called College Invest. So College Invest, they're a Colorado college savings program, which makes it easy to save for your education after high school. So it's basically a fancy way of saying that they exist for just one reason: to help you and your families put away money to save for your inspired future. So I started a College Invest savings plan for both my girls when we moved to Colorado 10 years ago, and I'm really glad I did, because I have a daughter going off to college next year. So a College Invest savings plan, it's like a piggy bank, but even better, because your money that your parents or caregivers or grandparents, they put into your College Invest plan, it grows tax-free. So they can use it for your educational expenses past high school without having to pay the tax. So it goes even further, and it can be used to send you to colleges anywhere across the country, or to a trade school, or to an apprenticeship. An apprenticeship gives you real world experience, and it'll help fund that too. So we're going to hear a quick message from the CEO of College Invest about what she hopes that you'll get out of today.
Hi, I'm Angela Beyer, CEO of College Invest.
Oh, sorry.
And welcome to this episode of Inspiring Futures. Through Girl Scouts, you've learned that if you can dream it, you can do it. And here at College Invest, Colorado's education savings program, we help you get there. And you're never too young to begin to imagine your inspired future. So how will you impact this world? Will you run your own business, invent a new technology, or maybe even discover a life-saving cure? But wherever your inspiration takes you, a College Invest savings plan can help make your dreams a reality. Now, prepare to be inspired.
Great. So thank you to the CEO of College Invest. And I just wanted to cover a couple of housekeeping items. So we're going to be recording this session. It's going to be up on our YouTube channel for Inspiring Futures, but we will make sure that we block out any faces and stuff. So you can share, right now you can share your videos and we can chat and everything like that. But in the recording, I'll make sure that, for safety purposes, that we keep everybody's faces off of the recording. But we would love to see you and interact with you now. And we'll have time to interact with our guest and ask some questions and everything. So next up, as we do with all of our Girl Scout meetings, we have to do the promise and the law. So if you want to unmute yourself or your video, you can talk along with me. So the Girl Scout law: on my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. The promise: I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, and responsible for what I say and do. I will respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout. So thanks very much. And now I want to introduce you to Joanna Paul. So Joanna Paul is a mom and a friend of mine. She's a toy creator and an entrepreneur whose passion to create a toy came to life from watching her kids. She brainstormed and shared her idea with friends and family to get feedback, and pitched her idea to get it made. The result is a plush toy that comes as a stuffed dog, bear, or cat, each with 6 facial expressions, and it's called Whatitsface. So Joanna's here. And I welcomed her. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and have Joanna take it from here.
Hi, guys. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. I'm so happy to be here. My name, again, is Joanna Paul, and I'm the inventor of a toy called Whatitsface. It is a cuddly plush toy, emotional toy that has, as Katie said, 6 different faces. So with a simple turn of a knob, sorry, the light's very bright, and a flip of the 2-sided face, you get angry, sad, happy, amused, sleepy. And did I say angry already? Surprise. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now just to tell you a little bit more about my toy. Sorry, there you go. So when I came up with the idea for Whatitsface, sorry, I just zoomed in there. Zoom out. Hold on here. My children were quite young. This always happens live, right? Here we go. Sorry, I'm going to just bear with me, guys. Sorry about that. These are my little kiddos. Well, they were little. This is my daughter in the bunny diaper is going to college in 2 years. And my son is now a 11-year-old black belt, if you can believe that. So when I was looking for ideas for a toy, I was, as Katie said, I was very inspired by my children. Prior to having children, I was a graphic designer working at a very busy firm. And I found myself with 2 kids and a lot of time to really step back and use my imagination. And I wanted to create a toy that had expressions that could really make their play experience that much better. So when they had a little play scenario with their stuffed animals, if one was sad, you could actually flip to the sad face. And it was just so much more fun. Pretend play was just so much more fun when the toys could actually, express their emotions. And at the same time, my toddler was learning about emotions, and I found myself going through the same baby books. And I thought, well, this idea I have could really work with my daughter and my son. Instead of, teaching him emotions the typical way with books, he could learn through play. So I had fun with it when it first came out. I really wanted to bring this toy to life, as you can see. So stuff like this, I think, is little kids really get it. They can tell what's going on in the picture, and it's just really fun that this stuffed animal has an angry face is something you don't really see much these days. So here's the toy with all 6 emotions just lined up. And these are some of my fans and followers, kids I've never met before. And it just makes me so happy to see my toy in the hands of kids all over the world. It just, it really worked out in the end. Okay, so I really wish I could bring the screen down, but I can't. Okay, so we're here really to talk about what it's like to be a toy designer or an inventor. And I shared with you how I came up with my idea for a toy, but there are a lot of different things that you can think about when developing toy ideas. Can you develop a toy that solves problems? A lot of parents' problems are their kids get very bored very easily, or they spend too much time on the screen. Can you invent an educational, emotional toy like I did? Something unique that doesn't exist, obviously, would be an amazing idea. There are a lot of collectibles. Those are very popular these days, with action figures and stuffed animals, that people collect. My daughter has, I think, 8 or 10 squishmallows on her bed right now. fidgets, something that, is so fun that you can't put down. People love to be challenged, whether it's sports or mentally challenged with, games like chess, but, maybe there's something new that you can invent. There's also obviously a lot of toys on the market based on famous characters from movies or books. One example I really like is all the fun toys that came out as a result of Harry Potter. There is an invisibility cloak that just came out. I think it was last year, and it actually works. It's pretty cool. And obviously my favorite is toys that encourage creativity. It's just, all of this is just very healthy for kids. Whether it's a craft or something that just stretches the kids' imagination. Let's see here. So my favorite way, by the way, I'm going to stop for a second. Is there anyone who wants to be on camera and talk about their favorite toys before I go on? Any favorite childhood toys? Okay, I don't think we're going to get feedback right now. Okay, so my favorite way to come up with ideas is called toy math. And I promise it's not boring math, it's not hard math. It's just a really, really awesome way to quickly develop ideas that you never would have thought of. And it's a very simple thing to follow. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a play pattern. Play pattern in the toy industry simply means how you play with a toy. So I'm going to give you some examples here. So some examples for toys versus games. Toys, there's dress up, there's pretend play, there are ride-on toys, there are toys that are collectibles. There's so many different categories here. That I haven't put, but there's building toys, toys based around food. And then for games, some very classic play patterns would be guessing games, family games, outdoor games, educational games, strategic games, dice games. I mean, the list goes on. So I just want you to understand what the word play pattern means here. Okay, so the second part of the toy math is we are, as you'll see in the next slide, we are going to combine play patterns with three things. The first one is good content. Good content could be a fun memory, maybe something you did over the weekend with your friends, a fun story that you read recently, or even a memory from your childhood, a show, anything that is an experience or a story, something that is memorable. The second thing is a trend, something that's currently popular. There are different foods that are becoming popular lately: poke, boba tea, fancy donuts, sushi. There are definitely some brands that are very trendy right now. Squishmallows. I know you guys are probably a little older for this, but the LOL dolls and fun things like that. There are also animals that are very trendy: the axolotl, the sloth, unicorn. I think might be a dying trend, but it's still out there. And fashion, there's always going to be something fun in fashion that can inspire you. And then the third thing is our senses. Hold on here. I know you guys know what the senses are. I'm just going to, sorry. So senses are eyesight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. So we're going to take these three different categories and we're going to combine it with a play pattern. And I'll show you an example. Here, you can just skip this slide. Okay, the first thing is a play pattern plus a good content. Like I said, the idea, memories, ideas, experiences, stories, books. An example of that would be, the play pattern would be Connect Four, the game where you have to connect 4 dots in a row and you win. And so I'm combining that with a water gun fight, a fun memory I had. I was just in Florida last weekend with my cousins and we had a water gun fight. And so if you add these two together, a fun idea would be Connect Four Blast. Believe it or not, it exists. I just found this out today. So you blast the circles to as part of the game. You can use a water gun. I believe this one looks like an air gun.
Girl Scouts, have any of you seen this game in the stores? Yeah, you have. Cool.
Okay, great. Let's go to another example.
Looks fun.
So this example uses the play pattern of a ride-on toy. This one's a skateboard. Sushi is very trendy. More and more people are getting into it. So if you combine these two, a fun idea would be, it's very silly, a sushi skateboard. This is a very bad rendering of one, but it would be a fun toy for kids for sure. Okay, so the third example of a play pattern with, actually in this example, we're actually not combining, we're eliminating one of your senses. For example, a family game minus eyesight could give you, there's a game called Googly Eyes where I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, it came out a couple of years ago, where you put on a pair of really fun glasses. It distorts your eyesight. And then you have to do a drawing challenge. And the best artist wins, apparently. I haven't played it, but it's really fun. So these are just examples of things you can do combining play patterns with the 3 different categories. And I sat down once when I first learned it, and I came up with at least 20 different ideas. It was so fun. So I think it would be great if you guys would, as a group, we're going to pause and we're going to have you guys come up with your own toy ideas. If you want to grab a piece of paper, markers, pencils, and just maybe sketch out an idea, either using the toy math, or maybe you have an idea in your head. Maybe there's a childhood toy that you love, that if there's, a way you could bring it back, but better, or change something about it, with the way it looks, make it trendy, or so just some really fun ideas. If you guys want to just take a few minutes and sketch some ideas, and then we'll talk about it.
Does anybody have any ideas already that they want to share, or what they've thought of?
Anyone in the chat?
Corabelle, do you want to tell us about your idea? I see a cute, what is it, a koala?
It's a panda.
Panda, cute.
I don't really seem to have really good ideas when I look at those toys. Then I really like the ideas, but I never seem to be able to find a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it can take a lot of time and a very quiet space, no distractions, and just really think about stuff you've seen at stores recently. Maybe there's something missing that you wish you could see, or maybe you're inspired by crafting and there's something cool that you would love to learn how to make. And maybe you could actually develop a toy that teaches people how to make the craft. I mean, it's not something you can do typically in a minute. But it's something to think about. And I think that the toy math is just it's a helpful way to think about things. Another great thing to do is just really pay attention to trends that are around you. It can be stuff that's not in the toy industry. It could be, like I said, fashion. You're noticing like a pattern keeps popping up. For a while there were, as a bad example, but there were a bunch of emoji t-shirts and stuff, and that inspired a lot of toys. But if you just really kind of pay attention when you go into a store, whether it be a toy store or Target or your favorite clothing store, and just kind of see what's trending, and that might spark ideas. Or maybe you're inspired by a favorite character in a movie, and you wish this character had this thing to play with because she's so smart. Like maybe like the character Katniss in Hunger Games. There's like a cool kind of laser bow and arrow that you think would be great for her. So there's just, the whole world is just full of inspiration. So if you guys maybe want to think about ideas on your own, that would be great. And what I was going to do was have you guys share your ideas and then share them with each other. Because one thing a toy designer relies on is feedback from your peers, feedback from kids, which is, the best feedback, because you want to see them play with it. You want to kind of pick their brain and see if it's something that they would respond to, things that they like, things that they don't like. So that would be the next step. If you do develop an idea, share it with your family and friends, get some feedback. And if you want to take it even further, you could even practice pitching it to an imaginary toy company, because believe it or not, there are actually opportunities for kids your age to be a part of a toy inventor competition where you get to pitch to some of the biggest toy companies in the world. So, very similar to having to sell cookies and really nail down your pitch. Pitching to a toy company takes work and practice. And some important things that toy companies want to know is what your toy is, just very simple description, how you play with it, what's the play pattern, and who it's invented for. So is it a toy for preschoolers? Is it a toy for teenagers? Is it boys, girls, both? There are some really amazing ideas out there in the digital space, video games and things like that. Virtual reality games are really, really going to be very popular in the next couple of years. I've been really keeping up with that. So yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, there's a lot of opportunities. If you're interested in becoming a toy inventor, working for yourself, typically a toy inventor develops 2 to 5 toy ideas a year, where they refine their pitch, they develop mood boards, they sometimes, depending on the toy, they'll create a character, and what does the character eat? What's the character's favorite color? What's their name? What's their personality? So there's so many different things you can do. And it's such a fun and exciting industry, and it's constantly changing. And it's actually very secretive. A lot of people hold their ideas to themselves until they get their toy pitches very, put together.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. The toy conferences have tall walls and guards where you need appointments to get in to talk to someone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Can anybody go to a toy conference, or you have to be?
You have to be in the industry, and there are different categories to enter. Like the annual toy fair in New York is so much fun. There are a million ideas or a million toys from different parts of the world. It's so fun. And you either have to be a person who has a booth there, so you're sharing your idea and trying to get people to buy your toy, or you can be there as an inventor. And there are usually invention events for both kids and adults at the toy fairs, the toy shows. Or you could be part of the press, interviewing people. There are different categories, but yeah, it's not easy to get into.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's a really interesting industry that I sort of fell into. I never knew that this would be my future. I was a graphic designer, went to art school, and worked at graphic design agencies, working on packaging for toys and for diapers and for food, Bath and Body Works. And when I became a mom, I just had a great idea. And so a lot of the industry is built from people like me who just thought of a good idea and then just kind of went for it. And then there's the other side. You can go to school and you can study toy design. You can study industrial or product design. You can study digital gaming toy design. And there's some really great programs all across the country. And you can work for one of the big toy companies, which is always fun. There's so many. And usually the culture with working at a company like that is a lot more fun than working at a, law firm. Yeah.
Yeah, girls, I'd love to see just a reaction or whatever if you'd love to work at a toy company. Would that be an exciting future? Yeah.
Yeah. And the toy industry, they know how to have fun. Everyone's just very supportive. There's a really great organization called Women in Toys. They mentor women. They mentor kids. Actually, I think it was JoJo Siwa just won the big award this year for Women in Toys as the best influencer in the toy category. So I would love to share some colleges that offer programs. Here we go. Back to my wobbly presentation here. Let me see if I can. There we go. So actually, there are only 2 programs that I know of in the United States that specifically have specific toy design programs, as opposed to industrial design or product design. So they're both really great colleges. One is smaller than the other. Otis College of Art and Design is in Los Angeles. And what's really nice about Los Angeles is a lot of toy companies are there. So you have an opportunity to intern with a big toy company. And then the second one is oh, sorry, I have a typo in here. The Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. So I went to school in New York. New York is amazing. It's so fun. And this school is really known for fashion, but they are the first to ever introduce toy designs, toy design program. So a lot of people that I know in the industry actually went through this program, and it's a great school. Like I said, there are tons of industrial design, product design programs throughout the world. Typically, the best ones would be at art colleges. And the last thing I have here is the digital toy design programs. There's a really beautiful one at SCAD, which is in Savannah, Georgia. They also offer tons of different design degrees. The Art Center of College and Design in Pasadena, I've met the most talented designers, photographers, industrial designers in my career that came from the school. And then New York University is really fun because it's not an art school per se, it's everything. So it's, you go to school with people who study things other than art. So that could also be a fun thing to do. And I mentioned opportunities to pitch ideas to the biggest toy companies in the industry. So an organization called People of Play, they hold an annual challenge. They're actually taking applications now for people to submit their pitches. So what they do is, I think with COVID, it's been digital. You submit a video of you pitching your idea, and it gets passed around to the judges. And the judges are people who are very influential in the toy industry, and they have many different categories to choose from. It's really fun, and I'm not sure what the winner actually gets, but it might be a toy deal. So it's something definitely to just, if you want to dip your toe in toy design, toy invention, and see if this is something that would be a good fit, this would be a really fun thing to practice with. So that is my presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. Girls, do you have any questions, or have any of you now kind of inspired to be like, oh my gosh, I can go to college for that? That's awesome. Does anybody feel that way?
I actually made like some toy collectible thingies while you were talking.
Oh, wow. You just made them when I was talking?
Yeah.
Can we see them?
Yeah. They're kind of like axolotl thingies, collectibles.
Oh, I love that. At the toy fair, I love these. And axolotl, okay, so axolotls, so that play pattern would be collectibles. The trend would be axolotls, right? The toy fair I mentioned, there are millions of fun things to look at. One of the biggest categories in the toy industry are collectibles. It is, people just go wild over them. I mean, it is absolutely amazing.
Oh, you might be onto something
Yeah,
there.
you definitely might be onto something. Yeah.
Well, check out that the toy. You know what? Do you want to put it? Can you put it in the chat? The website.
Yep, it's peopleofplay.com, but I will put it in the chat. What was I going to? So with the axolotls, what would also be a great addition to that idea would be to come up with a backstory. Who are the axolotls? Do they have their own world? Do they go to school? What do axolotls eat? Is it axolotl fun pizza? If you can give some personality to your collectibles, that's always really fun, because a lot of toy companies don't actually do a lot of the legwork. They rely on people like us. I don't have my glasses on, to come up with ideas for them and to really take the extra step and develop ideas that they just don't have time to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So they need to create the little light bulb and the little idea, and then they can work with it.
Right. And I've
Awesome.
seen a lot of people actually do collectible figures with comic books.
Mm,
You know, content is so powerful. Original ideas and content. I'm working with a guy now who discovered the artists who made the Mutant Ninja Turtles.
oh, wow.
He discovered a black and white comic book, and it was actually not kid friendly. And he worked with the artists and he turned it into what everyone knows is the Mutant Ninja Turtles. Gave him very kind, like relatable personalities, and, did everything from their favorite colors down to what they ate, what was on each of their pieces.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it turned out to be a $3 billion brand.
Right. Right.
So
Amazing.
yeah, so there's
Amazing.
a lot of, you have an idea for an axolotl, you could really just take it anywhere you want to.
Yeah. Well, PJ, I hope that inspires you to branch out and do a lot. That's exciting. Awesome.
Yeah, and get paid for it.
Yeah, get paid for it. That's right. Well, thank you so much, Joanna.
You're
I
so
really
welcome.
appreciate you giving us words of wisdom, and tell us about the way that you got into it and the way you can actually go through college to do this. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And to thank College Invest for helping us with this program, and having a program where kids can and families can all put their money into those accounts, and it'll grow and grow and help you pay off your college future. So thanks again, and have a great night, Girl Scouts, and happy cookie selling, because I know we've all started that. And hopefully we'll see you at another Inspiring Futures. And if you have any questions, let us know. PJ, do you have any questions? No.
Just want
Okay.
to say bye.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Me too. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.